My dear children, today's video is not based on English grammar or word study. I would like to say something to you about communication skill today. Children, what is communication skill? Communication skill is the ability to convey or share our ideas, thoughts, talks, feelings to the others. Rather, we can say that communication skill is the ability that we use while sending messages to the others and receiving the response from the others. Communication skill is a two-way process. The sender sends the messages and the receiver receives the messages and gives the response. Well, dear children, there are different types of communication skills like verbal communication skill, non-verbal communication skill, active listening communication skill, written communication skill, and visual communication skill. What is verbal communication skill? When we are engaged in talking with the others, verbal communication skill takes place. It can be face to face talk, it can be over the telephone, or it can be via Skype or Zoom. And non-verbal communication skill is the body language when you are talking with the others. For example, your facial expression while talking to the others, your hands movement while talking to the others, or your posture, how you stand, how you talk while interacting with the others, and eye contact with the person who you are talking to. Listening, active listening is a very, you know, uh, good communication skill. You have to listen to the person first. Each and every question, every word, every sentence, very mindfully, you have to listen so that you can respond to the person appropriately. Answer should be in concise manner, focused, and relevant. Then good communication system takes place. Written communication skill, it can be formal letter, informal letter, it can be a memo, it can be, the text of this modern technology by using the mobile or, computer. And uh, visual communication, television is one of the best examples, videos, etc. Well, children, job interview or interview for higher studies, you have to face the interview. What is interview? Interview is a very popularly used device for the selection of an employee or for the selection of a student for higher studies. Dear children, during interview session, interactions take place between the interviewer and the interviewee. If it is a job, between a recruiter and the job applicant, or a team of interview committee and the candidate, or the hiring manager, or the employer and the employee, or the representative of an employer or the job applicant. At that time, conversations take place, and this conversation is the part of communication skill. The interviewer observes while talking to you how well you can communicate with them, how articulate you are, the style of your talks. They observe through your verbal expression and verbal tone and non-verbal expression. Dear children, they observe that whether you are listening to them carefully, or you are trying to dominate the questions asked by them with your much talks. Well, so we have to be very careful while facing the interview, and we have to respond to the interviewer's question very, very much smartly. We have to dress up appropriately. We have to follow the decorum of interview board. Before entering the interview hall, you have to seek their permission with kind request. You have to greet each and everyone who are there across the table to interview you. You have to greet them with your pleasant smile. You have to put on a warm smile on your face and give a firm handshake to each and every interviewer who are present over there to observe you, to assess you, to evaluate you, to judge you whether you are a suitable candidate for the post of this job, or whether you are the suitable student for this higher study. Well, children, you have to reach the interview board much before the time so that you can be quite familiar with the location, with the venue, with the place. And while appearing the interview, attending the interview, keep your resume ready with you even though it is submitted before. Keep all the testimonials, certificates very in systematic order in a very good way, so that you can present them as and when required in the interview board. If there is a glass of water in front of you on the table, even though you are not thirsty, please sip one or two times from there and cover it well. It's a mark of respect. Dear children, we have to be neat, clean, tidy, orderly in our appearance, and we have to maintain our temperament. We have to uh, control our mood, attitude, and temperament. Sometimes some tricky questions are asked during interview just to observe your mood, attitude, and temperament. So there will be a good control over these, qualities of us. Another thing, we should never be boastful, and we have to be very polite, modest, and decent while attending the interview. There should be a respectful rapport between the interviewer and the interviewee, and we have to be very approachable, amicable, and friendly and positive. We have to, you know, display the positive disposition during the whole session of interview. Above all, we have to be well communicative, and answers should be well thought out answers given by us, because each and every time we are being interviewed, just because we are being observed, and accordingly assessment and evaluation are done. Dear children, the atmosphere and the location, the venue of interview may not be familiar with you. The persons who will be interviewing us are unknown to us, but we should never expose our nervous habits like wrinkling forehead, biting lips, biting nails, tapping the toes on the ground. We should never sit having cross-legged position, and um, above all, we have to be very positive in our appearance, and our tone and you know way of talks should be very decent, modest, and polite. What I shall do, I shall upload some frequently asked question during interview in next video. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice time.